and in Low Nyanza. And we don't want to ethnicize this issue. But if you interrogate it further, you can clearly see there was a deliberate attempt to compromise the systems of IEBC, with the result that whatever outcome came out of the transmission of the results was a desired outcome to favor Jubilee.
All right, so on page 6 of the paper still, the integrity test, because the integrity of the Electoral Commission has now been put to question. So the headline here is 3 want IEBC barred from repeat polls. But what options does the country have, Oliver, if IEBC does not conduct these elections?
I think, one, we must not construe our minds to think that this election must, in a manner, be done outside IEBC. I think where we are as a country, we need to sit down and ask ourselves, do we want to salvage this country, or we want to plunge it into more crisis? The point is, yes, we might have some displeasure with IEBC. I come from the school of thought that, yes, IEBC must be questioned. And as my senior said, there are people within the ranks who must be taken to court. But the question is, what else do we have? And that begs the question, should we go the way I've seen most people proposing, that we should look for UN or AU? I think no. What should happen is that let's strengthen our institutions from within, just the same way we have done with the judiciary. Let's give IEBC a chance to redeem itself, but with a warning that this time round we are more critical on what you are doing, because it is another round of an expenditure on the taxpayer. And the question of, even if we say today we want to have a new IEBC, do we have the luxury of time? No. The point should be, if we are going to have another IEBC, what happens to the constitutional timelines of 60 days, which is now 58 days to go?
All right. And so that again begs the question, same question, Harvey. What options does the country have should IEBC be barred from conducting this poll?
Now, IEBC had a number of commissioners almost similar to the number of judges of the Supreme Court. IEBC had been preparing for this exercise for the last 5 years, so to speak. Look, it's quite unfortunate that most of the commissioners came in 6 months to the poll. But that is not an explanation, because the systems were there. They were designed to enable them work within the structure and give a credible election. So look, when Maraga was called upon to give directions as to the scrutiny of the servers, he was able to assemble a team of experts within a few hours, and they were able to give us a clear indicator. Same with the scrutiny. If IEBC may not be properly constituted, as I foresee, maybe we should let the Supreme Court conduct the election.
Right.
That is one option. Another option, it's quite clear that the regime that is in power right now, as a result of this election, is, so to speak, in international law, an illegitimate regime. And under international law, the United Nations and the African Union can sanction this regime and demand that it returns to a constitutional order. Now, if we have an IEBC that have failed many times, and this is the 3rd time there is a complaint that IEBC has been used to steal an election, there's no amount of redemption that can salvage this institution. Let's have the United Nations, let's have the African Union return this country to a proper constitutional order within 6 months. And then they can have a transitional government, and we can have a body that can undertake the conduct of this election. Look, 60 days, if you're to ask me, is not